Hey everyone. Look, we all know AI is a total game changer for business, right? But all that power, well, it comes with some pretty serious risks. So the real question isn't if we should use AI anymore, it's how we can actually manage it. Today, let's break down a framework that'll let you adopt AI confidently and, most importantly, securely. AI isn't just some shiny new tool. It's a brand new battleground. Yeah, it offers these incredible, revolutionary capabilities, but it's also opened up this whole new world of complex, super high-stakes security challenges. And honestly, every single company out there has to face this stuff head-on right now. So, that leads me to a really important question, especially if you're a leader or a manager. Be honest with yourself for a second. Do you really know how your employees are using all those third-party AI tools? Like right at this moment? Because I'm willing to bet the answer might just shock you. Okay, so let's be clear. We are way past talking about theoretical what-ifs. AI is now a very real, very active playground for cyber threats. This stuff has officially moved out of the lab and into the real and sometimes harsh world. And I'm not just talking hypotheticals here. These are actual real-world incidents that have already happened. We've seen attackers use something called prompt injection, which is basically just tricking an AI with clever instructions to get Google's AI to leak sensitive info. We've seen other AIs get manipulated into overwriting critical files. And right now, inside so many companies, employees are using unapproved tools, creating these huge compliance nightmares as we speak. And here's the kicker. We spend all this time looking for threats from the outside, right? Hackers in some far-off country. But the single biggest AI vulnerability you have, well, it's probably already inside your company. It's coming from inside the house. And that brings us to a term that every single leader needs to get familiar with, fast. We're talking about the very real, very present danger of something called shadow AI. So what exactly is shadow AI? It's pretty simple, really. It's when your employees use those unapproved third-party AI tools to get their jobs done. And look, they usually have the best intentions. They're just trying to be productive. But the problem is, they're almost always feeding these tools sensitive company data. And the potential damage here, it's just staggering. When AI use isn't managed, you could be looking at a sensitive data leakage rate of anywhere from 30 to, get this, 80%. Just let that sink in for a second. That's a gigantic gaping hole in your data security. And if that wasn't enough to worry about, guess who's paying attention now? Regulators. Yep, from financial authorities to government agencies, they're all saying the same thing. You need security. You need governance. You need accountability for your AI. This isn't optional anymore. Compliance is a must. Okay, so that's the problem. It's a big one, for sure. But it's absolutely not hopeless. So let's pivot and start talking about the solution. How do we actually build a framework to get this under control? The first step is a mental shift. We've got to completely change the conversation. We need to stop asking if we should use AI. Come on, that ship has sailed, right? The real question, the important one, is how can we use it safely and effectively? All right, so the first pillar of control is what we call risk-based management. It's actually a pretty simple idea. You just classify AI tools into 3 buckets. First, you've got your high-risk tools. Those are just flat out forbidden. Then your medium-risk tools, which, okay, you can use, but you need special approval. And finally, the low-risk tools, which are whitelisted for everybody to use. Think of it like a traffic light system. Red, yellow, green. Super simple, super effective. The second pillar is just as straightforward. Stop treating AI like some kind of magical black box. You have to treat it like any other IT system in your company. That means putting security controls in place for its entire life cycle. We're talking from the very beginning, planning, data input, all the way through building the model and then deploying and constantly monitoring it. Okay, so we have the framework. But what does this actually look like in the real world? Let's get practical and tackle some of the big questions that I know are probably on your mind. One of the first things people always say is, "Ugh, this sounds complicated. Why don't we just ban all external AI? Just shut it all down, problem solved." I mean, it seems like the safest option, doesn't it? Well, actually, no. A total ban is one of the worst things you can do. It's totally counterproductive. All it does is push employees to use AI in secret, which just creates more shadow AI and a bigger blind spot for you. A smart, risk-based approach does the exact opposite. It brings everything out into the open, gives you visibility and control, and actually helps your team get things done safely. All right, here it is, the million-dollar question. The one every CEO and board member is asking. When an AI messes up or gets compromised, who's responsible? Who's on the hook? The answer is you have to build a clear line of accountability. It starts with a simple rule. A human is always in the loop. The AI can assist, it can recommend, but a person makes the final decision and takes the final responsibility, period. And you back that up with a centralized platform where every single action is logged and traceable. That way, if something does go wrong, you can stop it, investigate it, and contain it, like, immediately. So when you put all of these pieces together, something really cool happens. You stop operating from a place of fear, and you start moving towards empowerment. You're finally ready to unlock what AI can really do, but with total confidence. Here's the best way to think about it. Good governance isn't a brake pedal that slows you down. Not at all. It's the guardrails on a Formula One racetrack. And what do those guardrails do? They let the driver go faster because they know they can push the limits safely. That's what this does for your team. And really, that's the whole point, isn't it? When you give people clear rules and a safe framework, they don't have to hide in the shadows anymore. They can bring their amazing ideas out into the open, innovate with confidence, and help push the whole company forward. So, if you remember nothing else, remember these 3 keys to AI security. 1, a single, unified platform. 2, a crystal clear system for classifying risk. And 3, the non-negotiable ability to trace and audit every single thing that happens. I love this quote because it just nails the entire philosophy. It says, we choose to use AI comprehensively and with peace of mind, on the premise that it is visible, manageable, and accountable. It's not about restriction. It's about using it with peace of mind because you know you have those 3 things covered. And so that leaves me with one final question for you to take back to your team. Your AI strategy, it can't just be about innovation anymore. Is it also visible? Is it manageable? And is it accountable? Because honestly, how you answer that is going to define whether you win or lose in this new era of AI.